Disneyland and Christmas is my second favourite combination. My first favourite being Disney and Halloween. I was really looking forward to watching the magic of Christmas at Disneyland for several reasons. One, I love Disney. Two, I love Disney parks. And three, this was the year of my birth. 1992 was my first Christmas, and I love anything that takes us back in time, and particularly to a time when I feel Disney films were, well, I want to say better. It's kind of hard to compare it to contemporary Disney, since a lot of contemporary Disney is just a re release or a reboot or a reimagining of a story they've already done before. But that's irrelevant to this discussion. I was really looking forward to this, and I have to say it's really delightful. My only complaint, and I'll get this out of the way now, is that we didn't really see the rides, and it kind of felt like Disneyland isn't a theme park. And it's not specific to this actually. There are quite a lot of Disneyland or Disney World documentaries, or little things like this where we don't see any of the rides. And it's like most people go for the rides. And even in 1992, they had the ability to film some of the rides. Um, so a little bit disappointed that we didn't get to go on any of the rides or have any perspectives or even just any kind of excitement with the rides. But what we did get was still really delightful. And I thought it would just be some footage of the parades, maybe some singing. We do get some carolers, which I love. But actually, it's a little bit more than that because we get to meet Mickey and Minnie and the others. Donald and Goofy and Max, I believe, was there as well, and Chip and Dale. Um, and it was really nice to meet the characters, and they're wearing wintry clothing. I think Chip and Dale had scarves on, and they go shopping. Well, Minnie and Daisy drag the others shopping, and we really get kind of pulled into their story as the sensational six. Actually, was Pluto there? I don't know if Pluto was there, but the main characters as they get ready for Christmas, which helps just to give it a bit more of a story, make it a little bit more fascinating, and it worked really well. And as I said, we get some carolers. The music in this is beautifully festive. And then we get to see the parade. And that's, aside from the ride footage, which I was hoping we got, I was really looking forward to seeing the parades because not just is it exciting, but it's always interesting to see which characters were in the parade then versus now. Some are the same. It's been a long time since I went to Disneyland. I went to Paris. I'm assuming this is Disneyland California, Anaheim. Disneyland Paris did open the same year as this, but I assume that it was filmed the previous Christmas for release at the Disney park the following Christmas. That is just an assumption, so if anybody has any more information about when and where this was filmed, please feel free to let me know. But I'm pretty sure it's Disneyland Anaheim. And when I went to Paris, one of my favorite bits was the Mary Poppins part of the parade, and this is included in this one. But there are some other things in the parade that I'd never seen before, and there were some random snowmen as well, which was a little bit peculiar to be perfectly honest, but it helped make it feel a little bit more Christmassy. The only thing that was missing from this, apart from the ride footage, but it's the snow. Christmas and snow go hand in hand, and obviously they can't make it snow. But I'm surprised they didn't have a way of making artificial snow. Maybe it would be a health hazard, maybe it would be really tricky to find a way to make artificial snow for such a vast area in a way that wouldn't be a health hazard. I don't know, it just surprised me that they didn't really make the area itself, the park itself, look very festive, apart from a couple of decorations here and there. Um, but it was an absolute joy. We got to see clips from the Nutcracker and various other shows that presumably were being shown at the park at the time. It's definitely a great advert for Disney at Christmas, and I have a feeling that Disneyland at Christmas now is probably even more magical. In fact, I say that it wouldn't surprise me if they have fake snow nowadays, but certainly I feel like even more so now it's ramped up. And I'd love to go at Christmas, but it would be busy, and I don't do well with crowds, so I'd rather not. I'd rather go off season. Um, Whenever I go back to Disneyland, it'll be off season, but I'd love to go at Christmas. I can see it would be truly magical, as is the case here. If you love Disney, if you love the parks, this is thoroughly worth watching. I watched it mostly because I wanted to go back in time. I love seeing examples of what Disney parks were like either before I was born or in this case the year I was born, and it's just an absolute delight. It's a beautiful little festive time capsule. The music's gorgeous, the characters are great, the parade is spectacular. Yeah, I would have liked to have seen some ride footage because it's a theme park, but I don't know, maybe they decided the rides weren't as Christmassy enough, so they didn't include it. But I don't know. I feel like it would have been so much more interesting. But that aside, I still had a lot of fun watching. And if you've got half an hour to spare, you're in a Christmassy mood, and you love Disney, I think watching the magic of Christmas at Disneyland is absolutely worth it.